So now let's take a look at how to use XOR to encrypt and decrypt our payloads. So let's go to source code. And let's take a look at main function. Okay, so it looks like it's similar to the previous example with base64. So we have virtual alloc. We have copying back again. We have virtual protection and create thread. That's similar. The XOR, the decryption function is called here, and we are decrypting the payload, the calc payload itself. And then we are copying back to our execution memory, which is a buffer allocated with virtual alloc. Okay. So it all looks similar, and again, I'm gonna be using a double get car to show you how it all works internally with a debugger. So the only missing piece is calc payload. Let's take a look at XOR. XOR is actually a simple function, and it's a symmetric encryption, so you can use it for encryption and decryption with the same key. Okay, so that's nothing fancy here. So the only missing thing is get our payload, which should be encrypted with XOR. So for that, I have prepared a simple Python script, which is reading our payload from a file, and our file is here, and it's in a binary format. Okay, so you have to remember that this file contains binary format. So it reads the data, holds it in a plain text variable, and then calls XOR, which is defined here, and it's the same algorithm as we have in the C template. So it takes plain text and a key defined here, and it produces a ciphertext, and the resulting the result is printed on screen in a C format, C hex string. So you can just take that hex string and paste it into our C template. So let's do that. Let's go to our RTO04 XOR. Python is installed on C drive, so Python XOR, and we give it a file name with our payload, and this is resulting array. So we copy this and we paste it here. Okay, so let's save it, and now we can compile it. Okay, and let's run it. So we have our addresses here. Let's run debugger and attach it to implant.exe, and we can investigate these addresses in dump. So go to expression, there's one, and you don't see calc.exe here, which is expected because it is our encrypted payload. Okay, first address is calc payload, and it is, we are actually here right now. So calc payload contains 91, 31, etc., etc. So it's an encrypted payload. And let's take a look at the allocated buffer in a dump 2. Go to, okay, and it's empty. And again, because it is only allocated, so it doesn't contain any data. So if you continue to run and we hit enter, oh, let's get back to dump 1. So if I hit enter, you should see that this payload, this data gets decrypted. Okay, so enter, and as you can see, the data has been decrypted. You can see calc.exe, and if you can also verify it with string array, hex array is from the calc.inc file, fc48, 83, etc., etc. So it's the same thing. Okay. And in the dump, number 2, which contains our allocated memory, it is also contains the same payload. So so the process is running. So if I hit enter again, our payload gets executed. Okay. So this is how you can use encryption with XOR of your payload. So again, if you want to use that template, you put your encrypted payload here, and you have to encrypt it with this Python script, or you might have already encrypted it. And you change the key here, and of course remove printfs and get cars, okay, to make it more stealthier.